Draymond is better than Charles
At
ever
what?
was. Can I explain? Do I get to talk, or do you want to talk?
No, I don't want to talk. I can't even believe you would say that, Skip.
He is better in so many ways, and let me count those ways.
Okay.
Way number one, Draymond Green has extreme winners intangibles, which were sorely lacking in Charles Barkley. Draymond plays his tail off every possession of every night, and Charles Barkley too often just played in cruise control and relied too often on his athletic ability, just got by on it. And Draymond very well could be voted, I think he will be voted, this year's Defensive Player of the Year. He can guard centers, he can guard guards, as we know, and Charles Barkley mostly rested on defense. Draymond Green is a 33% three-point shooter, which is pretty good. Charles wasn't a bad one, but he was a 27% career three-point shooter. Draymond Green is a far, far better passer than Charles ever thought about being, although Charles was a decent passer, but Draymond is a gifted passer who is obviously a threat on a nightly basis to be triple-double, and Barkley was never that big of a triple-double threat. Draymond does not have the gaudy, empty rebound scoring stats that Charles put up.
Now they gaudy and empty.
You know, gaudy and empty. But obviously, Draymond plays with Steph Curry, two-time MVP, and, the other guy, we know Klay Thompson, and we know Iguodala, and they're going to put
what's
up
the other guy? You're not going to mention the other guy's name?
Who? Iguodala?
No.
No.
The one from Oklahoma.
From Oklahoma.
Oklahoma City, the one that's there now.
Oh, Kevin Durant.
Yeah.
They got that guy too.
Oh,
I'm just looking at his career. In his career, he's played with Steph and Klay and Iguodala, and now he's got Kevin Durant.
And you go talking about that? How dare you, Skip?
Well,
I don't even know who you are anymore.
It's okay. Here we go. So, the guts and glue of the Golden State Warriors is Draymond Green. He provides an edge and an energy that the other superstars do not provide on a nightly basis. So back to Game 4 of last year's NBA Finals, when he got himself thrown out because he goes after the king of Akron. He called him what he believes that he is. He used the B word.
Boss.
He went after him. He cheap-shotted him at the other end. That was a little out of control, and he got himself thrown out of Game 5, and it flipped the series because the guts and glue, the edge and the energy were not there for Game 5 in Oakland, and all of a sudden the path was cleared for the king of Akron to take back over the series. But, of course, then Andrew Bogut, the rim protector, got hurt for Game 6 and 7, but I won't mention that.
So, Draymond missed Game 5.
Yep.
So where was Draymond in Games 3, 6, and 7?
Well, let me just finish my argument, and then you can speak all you want to speak or try. Because if you replace Draymond Green with Charles Barkley, these Warriors would not be champions. He would drag this kind of team down. Draymond builds it up and takes it over the edge with his edge. So bottom line, Draymond in so many ways is a better Barkley.
First of all, I just want to dissect, punch a little holes in your argument, and then I'll go ahead and make my argument. You say winners intangibles. So how much does Klay and Steph play in that?
The leader of this team is that guy. They feed off Draymond.
Did Charles Barkley ever play with another MVP?
I don't know. You tell me. You researched him.
I didn't. Can I ask you a question?
It's your turn. I'm listening. I just want to listen to your argument.
You say winners intangibles. It's easy to win, Skip, when you have a two-time MVP, you have arguably the second or third best shooter in all of basketball on your team, and now you get another MVP on your team. Let me ask you this. You said if Charles Barkley was on this team, they wouldn't be nearly as good. If you put Draymond Green on that Phoenix Sun team, do they go to the finals and face Michael Jordan?
Yes, definitely. But they would not have beaten Michael Jordan because he was the greatest performer in any sport ever.
I will give you this. Played hard. Draymond plays hard all the time. Is he a better shooter from three? The emphasis was not on the three ball back then like it is now. And so guys practice more shooting the three. So I think if Charles Barkley and guys of that era would have practiced shooting the three, the game was an inside-out game back then. You tried to, they took the Charles Barkley rule. They took it out, Skip, because what would Charles do? He would get the ball, dribble, back you down, and then shoot. So we're not doing that anymore. So is he a better shooter? No. Is he a better passer? Absolutely. But then you said the man is a 22-12 guy, and you called the stats gaudy and empty. Skip, here's a man that's 6'4", 250, 260, 280,
Whatever.
who knows?
Mhm.
Skip, how is 22 and 12 empty?
Just didn't love him as a player.
I
He's
mean-
not that guy.
Now,
Again, look what it started with Bobby Knight. You know what happened before the
Yeah, they
'84
kicked him out.
Olympics?
Yeah,
He just said,
he was
not
lazy.
my
Yep,
kind of
nope,
guy.
nope.
Draymond would have been Bobby Knight's kind of guy.
But you know what I'm seeing, Skip? The current NBA players dislike Charles Barkley so much that even when you pay them a compliment, they don't want it. Charles Barkley, one of the 50 greatest players of all time. In that era, there were three power forwards when you mentioned. It was Charles Barkley, it was Kevin McHale, and it was mailman, Karl Malone. Those were the three power forwards that you thought about from 84 to when those, I think Kevin McHale retired in 93, 94, something like that. Those were the guys, Skip.
Sure,
But
I got it.
the current crop of NBA players dislike him so much, even when you give them a compliment and says, you rebound and score and do all the things like Charles Barkley. It's like, hell no, I don't want that. I mean, think about that, Skip.